the party master on Up and Go, The Bridge, 99 FM.
Hey, good morning, my listeners. How you doing today? It is a new day. It's a new week, the first working day for many, and we hope you had a wonderful weekend. LaFane says, I'm tired. I said, all right, I don't need to ask how your weekend was. She did a lot of work, it seems. I asked Jody, how was your weekend? She goes, huh? And then kind of put forward an answer. So I'm trying to figure that one out, Jody. If you don't volunteer, then I'll be thinking my own things. It may be a good thing if you tell me exactly what that meant. You see this gentleman over here beside, close to where I'm sitting? He actually took a trek to the best parish, some say, in Jamaica. And I'm not going to say that because I was born there, but he obviously took a trek to Portland. How was your trip, sir?
Your place is good, boss. Your place is good.
Why are you stuttering, sir?
Your place is good.
It's really good, right?
Yeah, man.
Really, like really, really good.
Really good. Yeah. I'm going to give you that.
All right. Thank you, sir. So good morning to our friends in Portland. Morning, Richie and the rest of the team. We're here to take care of you on Up and Go all the way until 11 o'clock. 13 minutes now past the hour of 7 o'clock. I'm told it's a good time for us to get to the headlines across the bridge. Emergency. Holness defends reimposing SOEs, but overworked cops bristle at expanded duties. That's from the Jamaica Gleaner today. While staunchly defending the reimposition of states of emergency SOEs on Sunday, a combative Prime Minister Andrew Holness argued that his administration would not stand by and do nothing in the face of a tidal wave of deadly crime. In reclaiming a tool last used in the summer of 2020, Holness insisted that the bloodshed was of such an extensive scale that it threatened public safety. The blanket activation of SOEs in more than one-third of the country's police divisions was not lost on the Jamaica Police Federation, which represents the rank and file of the force that will provide the muscle behind the crime fight. Corporal Rohan James, chairman of the Federation, said that despite grand announcements, the state has not provided the logistical support and resources to allow its members to effectively execute their duties. He cited the long outstanding matter of overtime, which is currently before the court. There are welfare concerns that the Federation will continue to champion, and I can tell you without any reservation that this central committee that I lead is not prepared to take the crap from our employer. The only thing that our employer seeks to do to us when we make the sacrifice is to send us back files of misappropriation, corruption, as well as fraud, and it cannot continue, said the chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation. From the Observer, we pick up this one. PM says criticism of police must be balanced with reality. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says despite criticisms that crime-fighting strategies have failed, the Jamaica Constabulary Force should be commended for bringing to book some of the most dangerous gangs in the country using limited resources. He said the arguments about ineffectiveness of the police and lack of resources must be balanced with reality. This police force has brought several of the most dangerous gangs that were formerly protected, when we could have taken action to undermine them, erode them, displace them. But this force, even without the exceptional powers of an SOE, state of emergency, invested significant time and resources to build cases. I don't think the public understands that an entire police division has to be built, then put to investigate for months and years. Then we have to put up witnesses and protect them. Then we have to properly document and build a case and take it to court. When was that done before, said the Prime Minister during a press conference where he announced the declaration of states of public emergency in 7 police divisions. We now take a trek overseas, and Aruba is the stop. Data collected by the Aruba Tourism Authority, the ATA, indicates that Aruba has seen a recovery of 88% of the tourism in October 2021 compared to October 2019. The USA market has seen a recovery of 94% in the same month compared to 2019. The impressive recovery of the US market has caused significant growth in the economy. The recovery is exceeding all forecasts projected at the beginning of 2021. According to the ATA's outlook, the year 2022 looks very promising for tourism. If we stay on track, we can surpass the 100% recovery in comparison to 2019. Good luck to you, our friends over there in Aruba. And finally, on our headlines across the bridge, it's been nearly 2 years since China shut its international borders as part of its efforts to keep COVID-19 out. China tamed the initial outbreak in Wuhan by locking down the city of more than 10 million people, confining residents to their homes for weeks and suspending public transportation. Since then, Beijing has adopted a zero-tolerance playbook to quell resurgences of the virus. Harnessing the reach and force of the authoritarian state and its surveillance power, it has imposed snap lockdowns, tracked close contacts, placed thousands into quarantine, and tested millions. Before anywhere else in the world, China's economy roared back to growth and life returned to something approaching normal, all within a bubble created to shield its 1.4 billion people from a raging pandemic that has wreaked havoc and claimed millions of lives across the globe. All right, that's where we wrap it up for the headlines across the bridge. We do it around about 10 minutes after 7 o'clock most mornings right here on The Bridge 99 FM. It's 15 now before the hour of 8 o'clock. LaFane, I'm going to play a proverb, and I'm going to ask you what is your interpretation of it. Is that all right?
Sure.
Okay, so here we go. Proverb of the day.
Now dash where you tick before you done cross river.
Hold on. Play that again, please.
Now dash where you tick before you done cross river.
Wow. No dash where you tick before you done cross river. LaFane, I don't know what you're going to do with that. Can you play it one more time for me, please? This is the proverb. What do you think it means?
Dash where you tick before you done cross river.
I'd love to hear what you have to say on that. If you want me to help you with the translation first, I can do that.
Sure.
All right, so the translation is, do not throw away your stick before you have gone across the river. What are they saying that, proverb?
Well, since we're on the bridge,
Yes.
I would say don't burn your bridges behind you, or until you have finished a task, don't get rid of your resources, basically.
That's a very, very smart answer, you know. That is a smart answer, because we have as the official meaning or explanation, don't engage in premature celebration. Wait until a victory is confirmed. So you were bang on
That's right.
target. Well done. Well done. Are you available tomorrow morning as well?
Sure.
All right. Thank you. Nice seeing you. Have
You're
a good
welcome.
day.
Thank
All
you
right.
too.
Much appreciated, LaFane. Yeah, all it requires really is just to give it some thought. And you can nail it like LaFane did a while ago. So, whenever you hear the proverb, no dash where you tick before you done cross river. What we're talking about is do not engage in premature celebration. Wait, my friends, until victory is confirmed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister, in reclaiming a tool that was last used in the summer of 2020, yesterday morning said that the bloodshed in Jamaica was of such an extensive scale that it threatened public safety. But the blanket activation of SOEs, meaning states of emergency, in more than 1/3 of the country's police divisions was not lost on the Jamaica Police Federation, which represents the rank and file of the force that will provide the muscle, really, behind the crime fight. And so at this time, we'd like to get some perspectives from the chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation, who is on the telephone to speak with us right now. We say good morning and welcome, Corporal Rohan James. Morning, Corporal.
Good morning, Richie B, to you and your listeners and to my hardworking colleagues in the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
Thank you very much for joining us at this time. First of all, Chairman, how do you and the rank and file members of the force greet this latest development, this news?
Richie, permit me first of all to express condolences to the family members of Constable Hatton,
Yes.
who was brutally murdered in Mona over the weekend.
Yes.
The news that has hit us regarding this announcement by the Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister, it has taken us by surprise in many quarters. And why do I say that? We realize that the welfare component of the rank and file membership was never addressed. We have a dejected workforce suffering from low morale. It doesn't seem as if our employer is connecting with what it is that is paramount. You cannot neglect your human resource capital and expect success. You cannot, and I will repeat for the interest of the people of Jamaica, you cannot ignore the cries of your rank and file foot soldiers who are expected to confront the danger of society.
Yes, go ahead.
The welfare has been neglected. Ever since I took the office of chairmanship, I have been calling for a holistic approach to be taken to the issue of national security, the consular force, the rank and file membership. You cannot divide us of the resources and expect the desired outcome. You cannot work the membership without compensation and expect the desired outcome. You have to fix the internal mechanism in order to gain the success. And I realize that we are skirting around the bush. I've even gone to the extent where I have pointed out to our leadership that the Public Management Debt Act of 2013, Section 10, subsection F, gives the Minister of Finance the latitude to provide the resources in the interest of national security. And every single time I speak publicly, I've urged them to treat national security with the priority similar to how they are treating COVID. We cannot continue to subsidize national security. And I've been saying it from day one.
The commissioner made an appearance at the press conference and spoke. He's, shall we say, the face of the JCF. Are you aware of any parallel move being made by the hierarchy of the JCF to convene conversations with you and thrash out the issues?
Richard, to be fair to the commissioner, this is more than the commissioner. This issue requires the Ministry of National Security's involvement as well as the Ministry of Finance's involvement. The commissioner can only do so much and no more. That is within his purview. He can only work with what he's given. But we are saying for the umpteenth time, it is time the Minister of Finance shift the focus, treat every single life in Jamaica as being priority, and stop skirting around the bush with national security.
We heard you loud and clear. More than 1/3 of the police divisions in the country are going to be sort of affected now by the implementation of these SOEs. How do you see your members coping from your perspective?
Richard, the truth be told, the membership have already been burnt out. They are operating on the premise of finding resources out of their very own pocket to include uniform that they have to be purchasing in order not to look crepid on the street. And there are a myriad of factors to include since this inception of the COVID, renal failure and other chronic ailment has tripled amongst the rank and file. Notwithstanding the sacrifices we are making, there is absolutely no attempt by our employer to see to it that we should be treated as priority and for our health and well-being to be taken as a matter of concern and as a matter of priority. And I'm going to draw a parallel, Richie.
Tell us.
The importance of all of this, I say this to say that the Jamaica Constabulary Force is treated as like a bastard child. The JDF gets all the resources, yet still they are not given the daily chores of the day-to-day operation of national security. But the JCF is void of all those resources. The time has come for the government to put the priority where you expect much must be given. You cannot continue to ask the membership of the constabulary force to be giving up their lives, the time free of cost to this country. And the only thing that comes back to us is matters for us to investigate embezzlement, fraud, or otherwise. Those sacrifices are long over and done with. We have to take security as a business.
We got reports from the streets early this morning that security force members are out. There was one indication downtown Kingston where the JCF and the JDF are in collaboration and persons were being arrested and so on. So it is obvious that the JCF members are out there this morning. But what is the plan going forward?
Richie, we are always amenable. Whatever employers see as the best tool to be applied for in the interest of national security, we are always willing to ensure that we assist the citizenry of Jamaica to best as possible secure them. And we would never flout that order nor directive. What it is that we are saying to our employer, look at what it is that is the issues that are detaining the moral of the men and women and the impediments that there are to be corrected so that we can at least have the tools available and we can be properly compensated for our time and do not have to be investing our time elsewhere. We can focus on the issue of national security.
Mm-hmm. Whether it be a personal view or that as a collective, what are your views in terms of the effectiveness of the SOEs as a crime-fighting mechanism?
I don't like to criticize what are the directives of our employer, but I'm simply saying if we are provided with the requisite tools and the mechanisms supported by the resources, then we have no difficulty policing the citizens and getting the desired outcome.
Okay. Corporal James, before you go, please allow me to express my condolences to the family of the slain police officer that was referenced earlier when we started our conversation. And it would be remiss of me not to ask how those members who were ill, especially those in St. Elizabeth last week, how are they coping and how are they doing today? What report can you give us?
We met with the membership last Tuesday in St. Elizabeth, and so far some have regained health. However, there are lingering concerns. They're still exposed to trauma counseling, and we have to continue to monitor that delicate situation in the interest of the citizenry of this country, while it is that we continue to work closely with the judiciary to resolve this matter, which was a rather unfortunate situation,
yes,
and which we hope will never, ever repeat itself. While it is that we are working closely behind the scenes to treat with it, I wouldn't want to comment further on that aspect of it, but just to say that action and appropriate remedies are being sought,
okay,
and it is expected that we will achieve the objective in short term.
And I know that you had told us that you had seen your medical doctor as well in relation to your health. How are you doing this morning?
I am pretty fine. I'm blessed, Richie.
All right.
God has been good to me.
I'm glad to hear.
I've tried as best as possible to do a very good balancing act.
Okay. I wish you well, Corporal James. Thank you once again for speaking with us, and we'll definitely stay in touch. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Have a good day. That was a chat with the chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation, and his name, Corporal Rohan James. Brings our time now to 12 and a half minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock. That is where we are. We're going on till 11 o'clock this morning here on Up and Go on the Bridge 99 FM. Time now for us to get inside of what we call the Secret Sound Game. Man, the money's climbing and climbing and climbing. Last week we gave you one clue. It didn't help. You're going to tell me that you want another clue already? Nah, it doesn't work like that. You need to put some work in. Put on your thinking caps. And you know, you're all going to be saying it's much easier than I than I thought it was. So we do have a clue that we shared with you last week. And I'm going to remind you of the clue in a short while from now. But the fact is, this is the sound that you must identify if you want to win the money that we have in our jackpot. So the clue that we've given you so far says, this creature has dark under the eyes. How many creatures do you know that has dark spots, really, under the eyes that would make a sound like that? That is the clue that we've given you so far. Give us a call right now if you'd like to participate. It's 876-676-4996. We start our jackpot every time with $99 US here on Bridge 99 FM, and we add $99 Jamaican every day that we don't have a winner. Look at the amount that we've got today. 7 times $99 Jamaican and $99 US. The money is climbing. The phone lines are ringing. So let's go to it right now. 876-676-4996. Good morning.
Good morning, Richie.
Good morning and welcome. This sounds like Cunis, is it?
Yes, Richie.
God knows how Cunis does it, but we're happy to have you all the time, Cunis. How was your weekend, sir?
It was pretty fine.
Okay, no problem. Glad you survived. Now, you've heard the clue. You've heard the sound many times, Cunis. What is your answer? What is that secret sound?
I think it is the North American raccoon.
The North American raccoon.
Yes.
I'm trying to get the attention of my producer to see if you're right. Say that again, Cunis. You think it's what?
The North American raccoon.
The North American raccoon. You're sticking with that answer?
Yes, Richie.
Oh, boy. He has never won it before. Not in this dispensation. He's trying real hard. And now, this morning, I have to declare, again, that is not right, Cunis. Sorry.
Okay, Richie.
Okay, Cunis. I hear a tinge of disappointment in his voice. 876-676-4996. That is the number we asked you to call. What sound is this that you're hearing in the Secret Sound game? And now let's get another call up in here. Good morning. You're on the air. This is Bridge 99 FM. Hello. Welcome to the Secret Sound game.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Who's calling? Good morning. Hi.
Good morning, Richie B.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
All right. We want to pour even more blessings on you with all of this cash that we have to give away. I heard a man's voice and then you came in. What is your name?
This is Carol, Richie.
Okay, Carol. Who was it that I heard initially?
He's my son.
What's his name?
It's Jay Gaza.
All right. Big ups to your son as well. So it's the entire family coming at me this morning, right? Let us see what you all come up with, Carol. You've heard the sound, you've heard the clue, and now we're ready for your answer too. Let's get it. What's your answer?
Is it a sloth?
A what?
A sloth. S-L-O-T-H.
A sloth?
Yes.
No. My team seems to even find it a little funny that you thought it was. It's not at all. I'm sorry, Carol.
That's a sloth?
It's not at all. It's not.
S-L-O-T-H?
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
As often as you call it, as often as you spell it, as often as you repeat it, it is still the answer. No, I'm sorry, Carol. That is not the correct answer at all.
H.
Thanks for trying. Have a good day yourself and your son and the rest of your family. She can't believe that it's not a sloth, as she says. It is not at all. One clue that we've given you. It's not time for a second clue yet, but we can repeat that clue that we gave you. It has dark under the eyes. What do you think this is, ladies and gentlemen? If you think you do know, the creature that has dark under the eyes that's making this sound in the Secret Sound game, then let us know. All right, so we've taken our 2 calls and we're going to move on to something else. It's 23 now before the hour of 9 o'clock. Did I tell you about the experience I had with the gentleman yesterday? Didn't tell you guys? Yeah, I went. I wanted some limes, and I drove, made 2 stops, and there were no limes where I went. So oddly, I drove up beside this vendor who has a stall. Being a Sunday, he had his stall up and running, lots of stuff. He's a male vendor. So I says, hey, I see you have some limes there. How much per dozen? He says, I have 2 prices, $300 and $400 per dozen. So I says, all right, give me a dozen of the $300 limes that you have. Because I'm thinking that it has to do with maybe the size of the limes and so on. Then he says, do you want any ripe or all of them green? So I say you can put maybe 2 of the ripe ones in there and the rest green. Then he came to my vehicle. I was seated in the vehicle, and he came to the vehicle with 9 limes in a plastic bag. So I says, this is not a dozen limes, sir. He says, the ripe ones are $100. That is 3. And then the next 6 are for $200. So I'm saying, but you're getting your math wrong. In addition to that, I didn't even get it wrong. I just said, listen, I want a dozen limes for $300. Please take this and give that to me, or else I'll just move on, sir. You wrong me?
No.
I want a $300 dozen limes.
Yeah.
You gonna switch it on and tell me about the ripe one? Them cost $100 for the 3, and then the 6. Even the math is not correct on that.
So hang on.
Yeah.
The green ones not gonna be ripe.
Exactly.
They're getting there.
They are going to get there.
They're gonna get there.
And I have never heard that green limes and ripe limes actually cost different money. No.
That's a new one.
That's new. And it's not far from your place, you know.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you exactly where he is. So you...
Well, tell me. So yeah.
Because you're like the mayor for that area.
No,
so
you
need to have a talk with him, man.
Yeah, man.
As far as we're concerned right here, ripe limes and green limes are supposed to cost the same, right? Is that correct? If you're going to differentiate in terms of price, then maybe it has to be based on size. Not whether it's ripe or green, for God's sake, sir.
Hello, lime and lime.
Lime and lime. You know what I mean? If it's $400 or $500, whatever it is, I bought limes at $500 because I really am big on lemonade. And so I always like to have my limes at home, right? You ever heard of that, Sean?
Lime and lime.
Let me ask.
That man's a talented man.
Him deserve a trophy.
That man, without a shadow of a doubt, is also a Jamaican.
Yes. You might try a thing. It never worked at all. And you know what's interesting? When he went back to the stall and shuffled around the limes a little bit, as far as I'm concerned, I get back the CM3 ripe lime we've been having at the back from Jump Street. Thank you, sir. Have a good day. I'm gone. At this time, we'd like to let you know as we go into another interview segment. Yesterday morning, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced states of emergency in 7 police divisions across the island at a press conference that was held at the Jamaica House. States of emergency have been declared in St. James and Westmoreland and Hanover. Additionally, the Prime Minister revealed that states of emergency have also been reported in carried in St. Andrews South, Kingston West, Kingston Central, and Kingston East police divisions. We have with us at this time Dr. Herbert Gayle, who is a social anthropologist and lecturer at the University of the West Indies, to pick his thoughts on this particular development. Good morning and welcome, Dr. Gayle. How are you today?
Hey, morning, Richie. How are you doing?
Not too bad at all. Thank you for joining us at this time.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Gayle, first of all, what are your thoughts on the government's announcement of the states of emergency to combat the high crime rate?
All right, so states of emergency are usually used as a tertiary facility, meaning that it is something you use when a situation is getting out of hand. It's used to just simply create a space or a ceasefire that you can act then to do the secondaries and primaries. So there are 3 levels of addressing violence. The secondaries would mean such as the redeployment of the people who are involved in the violence, issues of mediation, restorative justice. All of these things are implied. But, of course, the core is ensuring that the people who were involved are now redeployed in training, education, whatever it is, so that you have less people to be recruited when the ceasefire eases, yeah?
Yes.
All right, so that's usually the error within the region. So if you look at the top three countries, Jamaica, Belize, Trinidad, if you look at even some of the other countries around that have homicide rates in and around or above 30 per 100,000, you'll see that they rarely do that. They have a state of emergency. They do not focus on the education of young people, which will be the primary or training. They don't do the other things. And then it spikes again. They have another state of emergency. And it continues.
The cycle continues.
Yes.
But then, are you saying then that states of emergency are not likely to be effective in the present
States
format?
of emergency are only effective medium term and long term if used as I said before, a tertiary measure. You can't rely on them as, the go-to repeatedly, because after a while, humans adapt.
How you mentioned the cycle and the fact that the cycle will continue if we don't do certain things. But what do you believe, Dr. Gayle, is the root cause of crime or the high crime rate that we experience here in Jamaica?
All right. So violence is a byproduct of social ills. Human beings are aggressive, but we're not violent by nature. Aggressive by nature, not violent by nature. Big difference. There are four things based on the work we've done from SOAS and from the UII. SOAS is the School of Oriental and African Studies in London, and UII here. And what we found is that a young person requires four basic things. And this is material from 127 countries. This is a worldwide material. They require food. They require stable parents, or at least one stable parent. Not necessarily two, but at least one stable parent.
Yes.
And a supportive kin or community. They require some degree of safety or sense of safety. So even if they were feeling not so safe, and then the state attacks them repeatedly, to the point where they then feel unsafe, even the state itself can actually help to break down one of the frames of ontological security. Interesting, right? And the final one is training. Now, only 3% of inner city males actually will qualify for university by age 18, 19. 3%.
Wow,
3% of inner city males. That's not low. That's hell. So what Jamaica has is what would be considered to be a massive gender inequality in terms of educational opportunities. At the top of the continuum would be middle income or upper middle income female who attends an all-girls school with a probability of 98% going to university, right?
Yes.
And then at the bottom, 3% for an inner city male. No country at all can operate in that way. Eventually, it's going to get to a point where it becomes untenable. You have to, and education and university might not be the only place, but if you take the tracking studies of those inner city males, you'll realize that by the time they're 25 years old, only about 30% of them will have any form of training. Now, what you're leaving behind is a massive pool or cadre of persons from which gangs and any criminal network can recruit from.
Yeah.
It's just too big. So if you are really going to seriously reduce violence, the first thing you need to do is to have what is called a violence audit. I've done that for Belize. homicide rate is now edging back towards 30 after dipping below 30, and they're concerned. Bellies.
Yes. What audit did you say this is?
This is a violence audit, which allows you to know what types of violence exist, where it exists, with whom it exists, where people move, the entire tracking system.
Gotcha, yes.
Trinidad, I then did Trinidad's violence audit, which they now also use. Other countries have done their audits. It doesn't matter what the country looks like, you need to have a data set in front of you working with that you update in about 5 to 10 years, right?
Have you done one for Jamaica?
Not yet.
Okay.
All right. But what you do then with that data is you actually carry out the facilities of ensuring that you have these 150 communities, and I'm giving you real numbers, because the estimate is that you may have over 150 communities that need to be addressed in a particular way. All right? And we're not talking about a temporary or a pilot, but the country has to find the facility to ensure that all of those communities are being addressed. So the young people are in school, the drains are cleaned, stuff that Caribbean governments have been doing in little pilots. Every pilot has a name. I don't even want to name any of the names, but you hear them, they are little pilots. What needs to be done is a massive thing. Need to close the gap very quickly between that person at the top and that person at the bottom. From childhood, that would be called the Child Survivability Index. Countries with massive gaps between the richest child and the poorest child are always going to be in trouble if they are urbanized. And we are an urbanized space.
How do we close that gap, though? I mean, provide the training, provide the facilities, as highlighted earlier by you?
Right, but yes, but there's a country that every country has to put up a marker that says, here is the line below which nobody lives. Right? Yes. That's what a government owes you. A government needs to sit down and say, all right, so these 4 things, if you don't have them, you're going to be unstable. You can't have a child who has suffered from immense ACEs and don't expect that child to go into 2 directions. If a female and they have a child, that child will be abused. If a male and they proceed through life, they are going to harm someone. These 2 directions are guaranteed between 75 and 85%. And that is why people very loosely say hurt people. It is not as loose as it sounds. All right? Yeah. So you have studies showing in some communities over 70% of the males and 48% of the females suffering from adverse childhood experiences at the advanced level, as in torture. You can't have communities that exist like that. In more developed states, if they find a cell of people living like that, they remove everybody. They put them in different places and so forth. There's a reason why countries have welfare. You should remember when people were complaining about capitalism versus welfare. Every developed state now have a welfare, a well-developed welfare. Nobody quarrels about whether you're capitalist or a communist and so forth anymore, because we know for sure that there is a line below which nobody should live. Yeah.
But it takes cash to care, and small island developing states will be the first to tell. Will be the
not just cash, you know.
No,
not just cash. If you take all the money that JLP and PNP government have ciphered off by corruption, I can't tell you what we can do with those monies. If you take all the bad policies, right? So in other words, governments have to be responsible and they have to make a decision.
Yeah.
If you also take the volumes of money we have for community, I think it's $20 million and so forth, and put them into a central space and have people use that central space. If you take the volumes of money we use to buy new guns and so forth, thinking that policing alone will do it, you can see that it is not always just economics. Sometimes it's a matter of what you do with the little money you have, yeah?
Maybe they need to reallocate funds, the gap between the rich and the poor.
And you don't have to do this overnight. But you have to say to people, and you have to train people to know what to expect.
Yeah.
Because remember, people who suffered long we want help and we want change. No. We don't know long talking with Dr. Gayle about now 10, 15 years. Want it? No. But it's 400 and odd years of suffering before you to get to that point. Yeah. So how you're going to want it? No. So all of these things have to be in place because you could very well do the right thing and people think you're doing the wrong thing because they want change. No.
Yeah.
Man, now we're upon nothing.
Yeah. Doc, time is of the essence. I really want to pick your brain on this matter to do with Member of Parliament Heroy Clark, who said he quoted a study that was being done by your teams related to you at the university on this matter of paternity fraud. I'd love to get your take on it. He wanted, Mr. Clark, that is, to move a motion to have paternity tests done at birth to stem a majority of domestic violence incidents that lead to murder. What is your take?
That one is very simple.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just a violence expert. I'm an anthropologist of social violence, which means I am trained to focus on all vulnerable people on earth, and that means a specific group. The most vulnerable in Jamaica would be boys. The second most vulnerable would be mothers who are unsupported. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you go at one of those groups, I am going to have to show you that increasing violence against that specific group is going to increase violence across the country, right?
Yeah.
So if you move any at all towards any forced policy rather than have people develop a sense of negotiation and management of their own lives, there is no way, it will be impossible for me to support this, even infinitesimally. Not even 0.1% of support would come from me.
So he was not correct in stating that he was quoting from a study that was done by you, or?
Oh no! Remember, you can draw studies, you can draw material from anything, you know. Right? Everybody draws something from somewhere. He drew from material. What happened is that we were saying 30% of Jamaicans are jackets, and my students responded by saying, no, it's actually 19.8. I round that off to 20%.
Yes.
Right? But it is less because what they were doing, they were using niche studies like a group of people who are trying to file for their children, mm-hmm. or a group of people before the court. Those are not real data. Those are niche data because it's covering just one set of people. Yeah. So my students showed that it was 1 of 5. Okay. So that is what, and a second thing was that jackets would be the second most important factor in murder-suicide, which is a small part of our violence, right?
Yeah.
Albeit very graphic, it is still a very small part because I think it's between 6 and 12 murder-suicides we have per year.
Yeah. Dr. Gayle,
you couldn't use that to go create a policy like that. Yeah?
Okay. I'm being given the wrap-up signal because we've extended it a little bit, but I look forward to our next conversation. It is always interesting to listen to you and to have a conversation with you. We look forward to the next opportunity. Thank you for today.
Yes, man. Bless up.
All the best. All right. Bless up to you too. Dr. Herbert Gayle, ladies and gentlemen, social anthropologist and lecturer at the University of the West Indies. Always so interesting to hear him, full of facts and stats and so on, and with a great understanding of some of the issues in our society. Right now, it's 18 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock. Those who are streaming will realize that I'm now out of my chair and I'm standing pretending that I'm ready to demonstrate this dance move. But then you must understand that it would take me quite a while to learn it in the first instance. So if you're expecting a demonstration, that might be a little difficult from me, but thankfully Happy Feet is in the building. Good morning. It's now a minute after the hour of 10 o'clock, which means that we're inside of the last hour of today's Up and Go here on the bridge. Jody, please take up your position. She has consented, and we appreciate that. Her name is Tony Gay O'Mealy, and she's popularly known as Happy Feet, the dancer. Good morning, Tony Gay. How are you doing?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me here. But can I quickly add that it is indeed a great pleasure to be here because I grew up listening to you.
Are you
serious? I was forced basically because my mom listened to you. But as I got older, you grew to understand what the show is all about. So being here is truly a great pleasure.
Oh, thank you so very much. Now you're going to have me stuttering. How is Mommy doing, by the way?
Mom is doing well. She doesn't know that I'm on the show.
She doesn't?
But but she's listening. So this is a surprise for her as well.
Okay, good morning, Mommy. What's her first name?
Anne-Marie.
Good morning, Anne-Marie. And you did the right thing to allow Tony Gaye to grow up listening to me. That's a good thing. Thank you so very much, and all the best to you. Now, you're a dancer and a choreographer, and you have decided to come up with a dance. It's called the Reggae Wave, and you have a sponsor as well.
Yes.
So it's the Wata
Reggae
Wave.
Correct.
First of all, Tony Gaye, happy feet. I'm very, very happy that you decided to go this route. I was making the point earlier that for years I've been saying, yeah, we've been using this Mexican wave and all of that kind of stuff, but we need to have something for ourselves. That obviously is what was going through your head also,
Correct,
right?
definitely. We needed something to unite us together because Jamaicans are so expressive. We love to dance and we love to celebrate, and what better way to do that than through dance?
Exactly. And so, first of all, you would have been thinking then of creating something that is easy to handle, easy to learn.
Definitely.
And looks good, especially
looks good, of course, because we Jamaicans, we have
the swag.
We have the swag, so we have to ensure that it's top notch.
Yes. So how many moves are actually being carried in this particular dance routine called the Reggae Wave?
Three. Basic. It's easy to catch. You can look at it and catch on to it, and that's what we want. We want people to be able to see it, catch on, try to learn it, and just support.
Have you done like a test run outside of your own immediate circles? Have you done a test run at a match or anything like that yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
But we're getting there.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to play. You prefer something up tempo, right?
And anything. The fun thing about this dance is that it can be done on anything. Any dance or song is perfect.
All right. Jody has joined us. Jody, good morning. What's up?
Good morning. I don't know why Richie wants to embarrass me like this. I don't understand. He knows that people can watch us too. I don't know what this
They're
is
watching
about.
us.
I just want to apologize from the beginning.
No, there's no, and that's the thing. We want every and any Jamaican to feel like, I can do this. It's not that difficult. We welcome everybody home and abroad to just celebrate and do this dance.
Absolutely.
So learn a new dance.
And talking about home and abroad, we have a great percentage of the diaspora market that is listening to us, and many of them are watching us right now. Of course, Richie's doing his thing. Of course, there's Jody right to my right, and there's Happy Feet. How did you get in the name Happy Feet, by the way?
I'm always dancing. Music, no music. From I was younger, it's just something that it's within me. I love it. So, happy feet.
The timing of this creation of yours is also very good because we're into the campaign as we try to get the boys to Qatar.
Right.
So what is your aim then, Happy Feet, with creating this dance? You wanted to help to generate support and give them a vibe?
Definitely. The aim of this dance is basically, COVID has basically separated us, and we're trying to do something that unites us. And what better way to unite us than representing Brand Jamaica and just feeling good, vibes out, and having a good time supporting the boys. We want everybody to do it. We want the boys to do it after a match, after they win. So that's basically the aim for the dance. To just bring us together and let us feel unified and just on the road.
Full of support for the boys, without a doubt. So tomorrow there's a match at the stadium.
Correct.
Is the plan to have it demonstrated there?
Of course, I'll be there in the center.
Wow.
Right there.
Let's play your song. Oral Tracy has a song. I think I'm going to use that one right now. Listen.
Yeah, them a move like them all. Hate me side. But yeah, we tell them say Jamaica. Yeah, we do it already.
I'm just allowing Happy Feet to hear the song first, and then she's going to demonstrate the dance, and we'll try to catch it.
Yo, me tell them, yo, reggae boys, World Cup, we are go. Up, we are go. World Cup, we are go. And no sideways, straight up, we are go. Up, we are go. World Cup, we are go. And no peace, and no fight, and no war, we are go. Up to the sky, to the star, we are go. Jet plane, first class, and up here, we are go. Up here, we are go. And here, we are go.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, you'll see three different distinctive moves. First move is you kind of
It's a fist, and we're just putting the fists together.
Yeah.
We're coming together as a people.
And you turn your fingers. Come over here, Jules. You turn your fingers to yourself, to your face,
your fingers
and you have your fists clenched, right?
Definitely.
Both fists.
Definitely.
You're gonna knock them together
for 2, 1, 2.
Right.
And then we put the hands in the air, palms facing out.
The palms facing out.
Right
put the
above
hands
our
in the
head.
air.
Yeah. And then we're gonna just.
And then you just bring down the blessings.
Bring down the blessings. Bring down the winnings. Bring down the gold.
Bring it down, right down like that.
And because because we know what our boys are capable of, we're just gonna, celebrate it out, wave it out for 4 count. One,
now
two, three,
that's a wave that goes from left to right.
Left to right.
Yeah.
Both hands going the same place at the same time.
And that is different from the Mexican wave, by the way. This is intrinsic now, Jamaica.
Yes, this is yard vibes. Yard style.
Vibes. We're actually
Water
waving.
style, yes.
Yeah, without a doubt. It is the reggae wave. I'm gonna go for it right now. Let's do
this.
Let's do this.
So we tell them say Jamaica. Yeah, we do it already. Yeah, we are gonna do it again and again. Yo, me tell them, yo, reggae boys, World Cup we are go. Up we are go. World Cup we are go. And no sideways, straight up we are go. Up we are go. World Cup we are go. And no peace, and no fight, and no war we are go. Up to the sky, to the star we are go. Jet plane, first class, and no car we are go. Up high we are go. I got high we are go. Yo.
Pull up that.
I feel good. This looks good.
I feel like I'm next to you, the best dancer in Jamaica right now.
I'm telling you.
Let me tell you that.
I'm telling you. You look good. It's good.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go from the top one more time. Reggae boys.
Well, we tell them say Jamaica.
Thank you, Jody. DJ Audley, you catch it yet? Oh, you still?
Why may I watch it?
Hey, Jules. Come over here, Jules.
Young reggae boys, World Cup, we are go. Up, we are go. World Cup, we are go. And no sideways, straight up, we are go. Up, we are go. World Cup, we are go. And no peace, and no fight, and no war, we are go. Up to the sky, to the star, we are go. Jet plane, first class, and no car, we are go. Up high, we are go. I got high, we are go. Yo,
it looks good.
It
looks good.
And it feels good on this song because it's like up we are going, the hands are in the air.
Let me tell you something.
Beautiful.
I just want to publicly commend you.
Thank you.
Congratulate you and applaud you.
Thank you so much, Richie. Thank you so much.
Because if you came with anything more difficult, first of all, I'd not be able to handle it.
And I'm telling you,
so
you're doing good.
You obviously had people like me in mind when you created
Definitely,
it.
and that's what it's all about. Anybody can do it. Non-dancers, dancers, anybody. Can look at it and do it.
All right, listen, I'm going to play the song one more time, and I'm just going to allow, you don't need to focus on me now, let the pro do it. So here we have Happy Feet demonstrating the reggae wave in the studios of The Bridge 99 FM. Let's go. Let the stars shine. Happy Feet, take it away.
Me tell them, young reggae boys, World Cup, we are go. Up, we are go. World Cup, we are go. And no sideways, straight up, we are go.
You like it?
I like it
too. Listen, fantastic stuff.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I really thank you for coming by.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we look forward to this taking off, and you continue to soar.
And I hope tomorrow when we win the match, you'll be doing it as well.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan.
We want to encourage everybody to do it. Get involved. Show your support.
Yeah, man. What else are you doing? What else are you up to, Happy Feet?
Outside of all of
in terms of any other project working on?
Definitely. You know, as I said, I'm a dancer, so I'm always on the go. The market for dancing isn't as big in Jamaica, so you're always trying to do new things, trying to get new streams to make money. Yeah. So definitely, you know, I work with Shensia. I'm her dancer. I'm Shensia's dancer, and I'm basically a hype gal. So I'm on the mic, I'm behind her, I'm doing my thing, and I'm having fun. But right now, I'm looking to go on tour.
Okay.
Over in Europe because, as I tell you, I'm a dancer and that's my thing.
Meaning touring as a dancer, right?
Touring as a dancer, as brand Happy Feet. So that's where it's at right now for me.
Okay, cool.
Definitely.
Say hi to Shensia. We hope she's much better today than she was a couple of days ago. And all the best to you.
Thank you so much.
Give my love to your mommy.
Big up my mom. Hi.
Take care, Happy Feet.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks so much. All right. Whew. Man, I enjoyed that.
Richie B, the party master, on Up and Go, The Bridge, 99 FM.